Welcome, everyone. So happy to see you here today. So glad you could be with us. We're going to dive right on in, and we're going to open with a song by Karen Drucker. I am waiting, waiting. I allow myself to wait. I am waiting, waiting. I allow myself to wait. The sky is dark. Days are cold, it's the time of year to go deep inside and know that the light will come again. So for now, I rest and I listen. I am waiting, waiting. I allow myself to wait. I am waiting, I am waiting. I allow myself to wait. My life's been moving way too fast, need to stop. Take a breath to see what my heart wants me to do. So for now, I rest and I listen. I am waiting, waiting. I allow myself to wait. I am waiting, I am waiting. I allow myself to wait. I allow myself to stop. I allow myself to rest. I allow myself.
Just taking that collective breath, letting go of all that has happened before this moment, letting go of everything that has brought us to this moment, knowing right here and right now is all we have and all we need to be. Knowing that that love and connection and community that we have here goes out into the world, that we raise up our love vibration and raise up the vibration of the world, knowing that the technology that brings us together is a blessing, knowing that we are blessed by the talk. We're blessed by Reverend Rachel and the message that she brings today. And I am so grateful for this. So grateful, grateful, grateful. Simply release this to the love that has already said yes, and so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Our sacred readings today from Hilary Smith. People are like cities. We all have alleys and gardens and secret rooftops and places where daisies sprout between the sidewalk cracks. But most of the time, all we let each other see is a postcard glimpse of a skyline or a polished square. Love lets you find those hidden places in another person, even the ones they didn't know were there, even the ones they wouldn't have thought to call beautiful themselves. And from Cahill Gibran, love has no other desire but to fulfill itself, to know the pain of too much tenderness, to be wounded by your own understanding of love, and to bleed willingly and joyfully.
Thank you, Anne. Yes, yes, yes. So before we get too deep into this talk, I just want to share something that I think is really, really cool. It's 2026, and my birthday is on 2/26. And I was born in 1963, and I'm turning 63. I have no idea how this works mathematically because, algebra. It just seems to feel significant. And lately, everything has been feeling significant, and I'll get to what I mean in a bit. First, though, I'm officially going to start by coming out. Yes, I, Reverend Rachel, am someone who loves. Now, to clarify, I have said this about myself for many years. However, I always used the big L, love, when declaring that I am someone who loves. Now, you may notice that the second line, that second line. 2026 is turning out to be the year, at least so far, that I am being called to take a bigger risk, to be courageous and declare that I am also someone who loves with the little L. Why is this courageous, you ask? A little over 6 years ago, I declared my heart closed for business. After a betrayal, a breakup, a complete debacle, and a failed attempt at trying to do something different, I was left feeling disillusioned by the whole idea of romantic companionship. Maybe it was more than disillusioned. I wasn't exactly bitter. However, I was in the neighborhood. Cynical adjacent. I had Maddie. That was enough. And I felt ready to embrace my future as a solo person. Not necessarily alone, because with all of my protectors, wonderful friends, connected family, and extended communities, I am never truly alone. Losing Maddie 3 years ago made a difference. She continues to guide me, encouraging me to begin pup sitting so that I would still get the snuggles I needed. And just so you know, I'm currently walking a dog that enjoys kissing me more than I'm totally comfortable with. So the big question then is, how did this shift from someone who big L loves to maybe possibly being a person who might be ready for little L love begin, you may ask? A few things happened. First, I began getting, let's call them messages from the universe. As we were talking about starting the new year, my friend Becca used the phrase, change your story, create a new one. That landed. And I thought, okay, what does that mean though? And then on January 4th, my beloved friend and I did our monthly visioning Zoom and experienced some powerful revelations. And I'll talk more about that in a bit. The third thing that felt like a 2x4 to the head from Spirit was a phone call from my friend Brian. Let me preface this story by saying that I had been working on a new song. After the visioning on January 4th, I felt like I needed to write a song about love. I had started to channel the music, and then, as expected, I avoided working on the song like it would cause me to burst into flames. Nothing could get me to this piano. And then on the morning of January 23rd, my buddy Brian texted me asking if he could call me. Brian and I have known each other since junior high school, and because of Facebook, have been able to stay more in touch over the past few years. It had been a time since we had actually talked, so I asked if he was okay. He said he was fine and this call was a good thing. A few minutes later, we were on the phone and he starts telling me about a dream he had the night before, and that we were in a car with John Entwistle and Pete Townsend from The Who, a band we both love. And that he was singing to me, that Brian was singing to me. And he proceeds to share a couple lines of the song. And it was about how love can change your heart and love can break your heart. Basically, one of the themes that Spirit had been working through me for the past week on the song that I had been actively avoiding. Apparently, the universe lost its patience with me and went through Brian. And once I got out of my own way, the song came through, and you'll hear it later. I'm so very grateful that Brian remembered the song and made the effort to reach out to me. Now, there's one other element to this new awakening in my heart, and it simply cannot be ignored. This whole let's get brave about love thing was inspired by, yes, heated rivalry. Rachel Reed and Jacob Tierney, and also with the help of these gentlemen, Hudson Williams, Connor Story, Robbie GK, and Francois Arnaud. I have to say this. I am not one for following fads or trends. There are still very popular movies and books that I have resisted simply out of my own stubbornness. So I get it that heated rivalry and the buzz around these guys has turned some folks off. That's okay. For me, though, this story and the other books in Rachel Reed's Game Changers series, all of it has totally captivated me and has also broken me in the most beautiful of ways. Themes of courage, anxiety, communication, intimacy, social pressures, expectations, identity, love, of course, and so much more are explored honestly and so bravely throughout all of these stories. And along with a couple dear friends and a whole bunch of people around the world, my life has been completely consumed by the characters and their journeys. There is simply no rational explanation for it. I'm okay with it, though. If by any chance you have not heard about this series, all I will say is that it is a beautiful, funny, moving, and super, super spicy story of two young hockey players and their journey of discovering what it means to fall in love with an unexpected person. And when I say spicy, I mean it. Whew. Anyway, this show started my heart like jumper cables on a dead car battery. It was jolting, shocking, and took me completely by surprise. After watching all 6 episodes on a loop for about a month, I started reading the books. During COVID lockdown, I lost my ability to read. I couldn't get focused. And so in the last 5 years, I have only read 2 books until I started reading this series. Book 3, I read it in one day, sitting on my couch with a blanket and a cup of hot cocoa. Something about these characters and the many more introduced throughout the series contributed to this shakeup in my concept of love. That maybe, just maybe, I might be capable of actually, possibly, by some stretch of a chance, be willing to become open to the idea that I should, with trepidation and cautiousness, try. Just try to see if this can happen for me. And even just saying that much is truly terrifying. Getting back to the visioning story. My friend and I vision every month. We talk about what's happening in our lives and come to an agreement on what guidance we are seeking from the universe. And to clarify, I use the word spirit interchangeably with the universe. It's the same thing in my world. The process of visioning begins with an open-ended, not specific question that we ask. What is Spirit's highest idea about or for fill in the blank? It's essential that the question has spaciousness to it. Again, this is not visualization. We are opening ourselves up to catch what visions the universe wants to share with us. My friend and I are both in a place of making bold new choices, and we decided to vision on the thing that was calling to us the most. The question we landed on was, what does it mean to be ready for companionship? What does it mean to be ready for companionship? That resonated with both of us, so we dove right in. Before I tell you what happened, I should share that when I vision, I usually get really trippy visuals that rarely make sense in the moment. That is, everything makes sense eventually. The thing is, I rarely get words or sentences or what I would call direct messages or even coherent thoughts. Okay. Of the several questions asked during a visioning session, one is focused on what we need to release in order to allow Spirit's highest idea to come through. We got to that question, and Spirit came through loud and clear. What, if anything, must I release to receive Spirit's highest idea for what it means to be ready for companionship? And the response? Everything. Literally everything that came before this, Rachel. That landed powerfully. I understood right away what that meant and thought it was something I could work on. And then in the silence that followed, I heard Spirit say, remove the comma, which led me to, what, if anything, must I release to receive Spirit's highest idea for what it means to be ready for companionship? Everything, literally everything, that came before this, Rachel. Yeah, I know. It landed like a block of concrete on my chest. Suddenly the assignment had changed. And to be honest, things started feeling a touch more scary and a bit unstable. If any of you have ever been confronted with, wait, let me choose a less volatile word than confronted. If any of you have ever been offered, it's a little gentler, the opportunity to grow in a way that felt big or intimidating or that flummoxed you, then you understand what this felt like. Like being offered a new job opportunity, a new employment opportunity, or an invitation to move somewhere you've never lived. Or you joined a dance class with friends and then they didn't show up. That's kind of what this felt like. An invitation that was everything. Exciting, welcoming, enticing, mysterious, terrifying. Naturally, I asked the universe for more information, clarity, maybe some guidance that was a bit more specific. I'm sure you all know how that went. First, it came through poetry. From Rumi. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Okay, what are the barriers? Well, there was that incident a little over 6 years ago when I decided that I wouldn't let anyone get close to me or my wounded heart ever again. So stubbornness, that's a barrier. Disillusionment is another one, which is kind of a ridiculous one because I love officiating weddings and I do it really well. So it wasn't disillusionment with love so much as it was disillusionment with my own ability to let an authentic experience of it in, or with my belief that that kind of love could never be something offered to me. That's a big one. And of course, there's the number one on the top 40's chart of barriers, fear. Fear can stop us from doing anything, from making any choice. Fear can be immobilizing. There is, however, a wonderful acronym for fear that I love. It is face everything and rise. When I'm feeling strong enough, I conjure up that magical spell and I say it into the mirror, or at least into the ethers, to remind myself, remind myself that I have been courageous before, which means that I can be courageous again. There's a beautiful song by Namely Brennett called Let Love In. In it, she is asking her heart to give her a break and stop the struggling. Some of the lyrics are, "Come on, heart, just get it right. Give up this fight and let love in. Come on, heart, lay down your guard. It's not that hard to let love in. Isn't this what we wanted more of? Come on, heart, could we just try? Come on, heart, give it a shot. Ready or not, you know we've got to let love in." It's a tender, aching song of someone sitting alone at 4 a.m. negotiating with their barricaded heart to try again. Because without love, she writes, I am bending and wilting just like flowers. Without water, I will wither. This song resonates deeply because of this idea of the negotiation piece. Sometimes we need to just have a talk with ourselves, our hearts, our minds, our souls, our bodies, and have the conversation that can help guide us through whatever we feel might be getting us stuck. I do this quite often. Just talk to myself or various parts of myself. Or sometimes I talk with the protectors. Just to check in, to call myself out on some of the things I used to believe that I know cannot be true anymore. All of those stories I have told myself over and over that have changed or that I want to change. Like in Namely's song about trying to change. Because change is inevitable. For better or worse, change is the one thing we can always count on. And I just realized I think I might be pronouncing her name wrong. I believe it's Namely. So when she sees this, blessings on you, Namely, I corrected it. The thing about change being the only thing that we can count on, though, is that change takes time and patience and trust. This reminded me of a profoundly moving, heart-aching story from the brilliant Nikos Kazantzakis. He writes, I remember one morning when I discovered a cocoon in the bark of a tree, just as the butterfly was making a hole in the case and preparing to come out. I waited a while, but it was too long appearing, and I was impatient. I bent over it and breathed on it to warm it. I warmed it as quickly as I could, and the miracle began to happen before my eyes faster than life. The case opened, the butterfly started slowly crawling out, and I shall never forget my horror when I saw how its wings were folded back and crumpled. The wretched butterfly tried with its whole trembling body to unfold them. Bending over it, I tried to help it with my breath. In vain. It needed to be hatched out patiently, and the unfolding of the wings should be a gradual process in the sun. Now it was too late. My breath had forced the butterfly to appear, all crumpled, before its time. It struggled desperately, and a few seconds later, died in the palm of my hand. That little body, I do believe, is the greatest weight I have on my conscience. For I realize today that it is a mortal sin to violate the great laws of nature. We should not hurry. We should not be impatient. But we should confidently obey the rhythm of people and things. This is a lesson I am continuing to learn. Patience and trust. Those two qualities are consistently showing up in front of my face as reminders. So, of course, the universe said, oh, I'm on it. Another one of those miraculous interventions that happened recently was an email sent to me by a cherished friend. She knows how much I love Rob Bresney and how spot on his horoscope writings are. Ever since I first discovered his work while living in Anchorage, I was amazed, impressed, and on more than one occasion, completely freaked out by how accurate and timely his readings were. Truly, I sometimes thought he was eavesdropping on my life, or my thoughts. So along with all of the 2x4 signs from Spirit I was receiving, came this message from Rob via my friend. Pisces for this week. In alchemy, solve et coagula is a Latin phrase translated as dissolve and coagulate. It means that transformation must begin with the process of breaking down before any building begins. You can't skip over the dissolving phase and jump straight into creating the new structure. I mention this, dear Pisces, because I believe you're now in the dissolving phase. It might feel destabilizing, even a bit unnerving, but I urge you to stick with it. When the moment comes to construct the beautiful new forms, you will know. But that time isn't yet. Keep dissolving a while longer. Destabilizing. Yeah, that feels accurate. I have felt since early December, when all of this truly began to unfold, entirely unstable. And this is both wonderful and frightening, tender and vulnerable. I'm going to bring someone in the room, but give me a second. Okay. I need to bring someone into the room with us. As I mentioned earlier, on the 1st of February, it marked 3 years since Maddie moved onward into her next adventure. 3 years. So much time, and also the blink of an eye. I know what love is because of Maddie. Unconditional, challenging, sweet, quiet, forever. Loving Maddie perfected my heart. Losing her physical presence broke my heart. Her continual company and eternal love has been repairing my heart over the past 3 years. I think that is what she had been teaching me all along. It is what love, both big and little L, is all about. Letting ourselves be broken open and put back together again and again. And like with the kintsugi process of repairing the bowl with gold, we can choose to find beauty in the brokenness. The practice of kintsugi views breakage and repair as part of the history of an object, rather than something to disguise. The repair is done without pretending that the damage took place. It honors the breaking, the recovering, the story. We make ourselves stronger, more beautiful, more valuable. Broken, luminous. That is us, our hearts, our smiling through the tears moments, our facing the fear and saying yes anyway moments. It is our letting love in. Before I share the song that I finally let came through, thanks to Brian, I want to share a little bit more about it, and also a poem. So I've already shared that my friend Brian intervened and inspired to get me to the piano. Once at the piano, I was still somewhat paralyzed with a sense of, I was just at a loss as to how to put all my random thoughts together. And then, as it thankfully often happens, I was gifted with guidance. this time from a character in Rachel Reed's Game Changer series. In the third book, we meet a character named Ryan Price. Broken, lost, too afraid to even want what he believes he can never have. And then by the end of the book, he is transformed by love. It's quite the journey, though. I wasn't even thinking about any of the books as I sat here at the piano. And then Ryan's presence came through me, and clear as a bell, he said, "Here, let me help you with this one." So the song is a true collaboration of both the real and the ethereal. Spirit, Brian, Ryan, and me. Before I share it, though, I need to read this poem from Maya Angelou. Again, gifted to me this past week in yet another random moment of spirit intervening. Touched by an angel. We, unaccustomed to courage, exiles from delight, live coiled in shells of loneliness until love leaves its high holy temple and comes into our sight to liberate us into life. Love arrives, and in its train come ecstasies, old memories of pleasure, ancient histories of pain. Yet if we are bold, love strikes away the chains of fear from our souls. We are weaned from our timidity. In the flush of love's light, we dare be brave. And suddenly we see that love costs all we are and will ever be. Yet it is only love which sets us free. The song is called Undiscovered Country. Alone in the dark, thinking back on it all, the thing that scares me, the scary monster. Is it too much to dream, to believe that it's real? What is this all about? All I said felt strong and true, kept me safe, arm's length from wanting. Anything. Everything. There's a difference between resisting something that you're wanting and of being afraid of simply wanting something. Stepping out of the place you thought was where you should be living, and reaching out for that thing that scares you most of all. Alone in the dark, thinking back on it all, the thing that scares me, the scary monster. Is it too much to dream, to believe that it's real? this all about? Love can change even the hardest heart. Love can break even the strongest heart. Both at once. All at once. All the stories of longing draw me in. I understand them. Is it only because they are my story, have been my story? If I let myself try, believe and risk, and maybe even bravely open up all the doors and see what's on the other side. It's time. I can't say no when spirit says now. Well, I could. Seems dishonest somehow. Terrified. So love just comes down to how afraid or how brave we are. That means it's just another test, a leap of possibility. And when we let our true selves, our really true selves, be seen just as we are. Alone in the dark, thinking back on it all, the thing that scares me, the scary monster. Is it too much to dream, to believe that it's real? As I sat with the idea of praying today, this was the prayer that came through. River God by Nicole Nordeman. Rolling river God, little stones are smooth. Only once the water passes through. And so I am a stone, rough and grainy still, trying to reconcile this river's chill. And when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer would be just one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high, never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you is where I want to stay and feel the sharpest edges wash away. And when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when my sunset comes, my prayer would be this one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Rolling river god, little stones are smooth. Only once the water passes through. Amen. Ashe. I want to thank you all for being on that journey with me. I'm grateful for having a space that people can feel authentic and vulnerable and safe to be themselves in. And I wanted to model that a bit. And also so grateful that this space exists, that we can all be here together in it. So I invite you to visit the landing page, SpiritsHome.org, if you're new to Spirits Home, and to learn a bit more about us and who we are and what we're doing here. And if you're not getting our emails, which usually it's 2 a month, in the next month it's going to be 1, so it's not a lot. I promise not to bombard you. But if you'd like to know what's going on or when our next talks are or what's happening, get on that mailing list at SpiritsHome.org and you will get our emails. Spirits Home on the Road just did a Unity in DC service on Zoom. I'll be heading to Michigan, back to Friends of Unity Plymouth, to do a service on unlocking the mystery of love. Yet a different talk about love. It's been a very interesting month. On April 5th, I'll be heading back to the UU in Rockland for Easter, and then on May 10th, heading back to the UU in Long Island for Mother's Day. So excited to be traveling. So excited to be invited. And if you have a space that you would like me to come to, Spirits Home is on the road and mobile, and we are ready to go. So we're happy to go. I wanted to thank you all for the donations that allowed us to print more of my book. I was able to get 126 copies. They always throw a 1 bonus copy in. And I was very, very grateful to be able to do that because of your donations, which are tax deductible. Yay! I will mention this again at the end of the gathering today. However, next month is daylight savings. I don't know why, or daylight saving. I don't know why. Anyway, we'll be springing forward. So March 8th, remember to turn those clocks. And share what we're doing. Share the videos. They're on YouTube, on my website, revrachelhollander.com. .org.com, and share them, and spread the word, because we need more love and light and hope and thoughtfulness and kindness and introspection and connection in this world. So please share us widely so that we can grow and hopefully connect more people. We're so happy you're here. So now it's time to celebrate with the gratitude song and a little bit more heated rivalry, because I couldn't resist. The boys. So much to be grateful for, even when we can't see it, even when we think it's not there. Just think of one thing. Always so grateful. And then maybe two things. Always so grateful. Saying thanks and giving thanks. Living a life of gratitude is the way I choose to live. Saying thanks and giving thanks. Living a life of gratitude is the way I choose to live my life. And I am always so grateful. Always so grateful. Look around, so much to say. Yes. Thankful now for everything. I have no complaints whatsoever. Look around, so much to say. Yes, yes. I'm thankful now for everything. I have no complaints whatsoever. None whatsoever. That's why I'm always so grateful. Always so grateful. Always so grateful. So we'll see you in a month, second Sunday in March, March 8th, spring forward at 1 p.m. Eastern. So grateful you're here. And if you would like to support us, you can use that QR code through Venmo, or you can just reach out to me directly and ask how best you can support us financially. We are always, always grateful to be able to circulate the good that comes in and circulate it back out and share with all of you. Thank you for being here today. Blessings. Thank you. I know I'm guided. I know I'm shown which way to go.